This video is brought to you by Dr. Kristen R. Bromley's Guitar Method Book Series and Online Music Academy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kristen Bromley. Welcome to my online academy. It's so great to be here helping you with playing the guitar. In this video, we'll be reading some melodies together that we'll be playing in first position and staying on the top 5 strings with. And there's a special emphasis with the A, B, and C notes that we've just learned previously. These are the newer notes that we've learned in this lesson series, so there's going to be a focus. Each of the melodies will have at least one of these notes in there. But we'll be playing some of the other notes that we've learned previously as well, as the melodies that we play tend to have a wider range than just these 3 notes, and it's going to be super fun. Now, this video does accompany Lesson 6 from my Note Reading Books 1 and 2 Method book. So if you have that book, we're going to be starting on page 35. We're going to be reading song numbers 11, 12, 13, and 14. So it's going to be great. Before we start reading those melodies and learning those melodies together, reading that standard music notation, it can be really helpful just to warm up, try and remind yourself of where the notes are. In the last video, I went over how we can play a C major scale. Well, A minor is the relative minor of C major. It has the same notes. We can actually play an A minor scale now. So I'm just going to go over that here. We start with that open A string found on that 5th string. The 5th string, the open string, is naturally an A pitch. So that open A pitch, or that open 5th string, we're going to play the A. Then we go up to the B, C, then D, E, and F on the next string, and then we got G and A. And we have an A minor scale, and we can actually return the same way that we came up. So if we do that again, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, and then we can return the same way we came, only in reverse. Now, above the A note that we ended on, we have partial of that scale. We could continue with A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And that's all the further we can go. If we wanted to complete it, we could actually jump 2 frets higher up to the 5th fret and complete it by playing the A up there, and then we could return. So we get a full 2-octave scale if we borrow that note at the 5th fret on the top string. So we'd have Ret, D, and A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, and then continuing on. And then if we just go up and grab that A note and then come back down, we have 2 full octaves. It can be helpful to say the names of the notes out loud as you're doing that sort of thing, to sort of memorize where those notes are. So that's a great little warm-up, gets the fingers working. Along those lines, I want to point out there's sort of the pattern as we look at the notes on the guitar, the natural notes of the guitar. On the 4th string and on the 5th string, we have this open 2, 3, A, B, C, or D, E, F. And then on the 3rd string, we only go up 2 notes, but it's that same pattern. We just don't play anything else. 3rd string is ironically the one that only has 2 natural notes on it. Then on the top 2 strings, we just say go B, C, D, O, 1, 3, O, 1, 3, E, F, and G. So that can help you find those. It can also help to just remember the reason for that pattern is that there are 2 places where we don't have a fret in between 2 natural notes, and that's between B and C and between E and F. Because B and E are the open strings on those top 2 strings, of course our natural notes are going to be found at the 1st fret, so B to C, E to F. Here we have the E and F on that 4th string at the 2nd and 3rd frets, and then on the 5th string B and C on those 2nd and 3rd frets of the 5th string. So we have those there. Everywhere else there is a fret in between, and that's why we get that pattern. But it can help to sort of remember that pattern. It can also be helpful with these lower notes to remember the chord. If you've learned a lot of chords, that can help you find them, because these are the bass notes of those chords. So like a B7 chord, if you learned that one, we have the 2nd fret there. The B is the lowest note of that. That can help you remember it. The C chord, that C is the lowest note. And for any of the A chords, of course, we got the lowest open strings, the A. And then we have D, E, as I pointed out, can be played with all 6 strings, but just the top 4, and then F. that can help you find those notes. On these lower strings, it seems to be a little bit harder, or it has been for my in-person students, to really get comfortable with these. But remembering, if you can identify where they are up here on the board and even remember the chord shapes, you can find those lowest notes that go with the chords. They match these pitches. Okay, it's awesome. Let's go ahead and jam together on these melodies. So we're going to start with number 11, and then we'll move through each one right in order. And they're going to happen at 2 different tempos. So it'll first happen at a slower tempo, then a faster tempo. You can try just playing right along with me. If there's a spot where you're really tripping up, you're going to want to pause the video and get that happening. Or anytime you make a mistake, after you've played through the melody, go back, try and fix those mistakes and play through it again. That will really help you lock in on your ability to read notes. All right, it's going to be fun. Let's go ahead and jam together. Okay, awesome. I hope you're having fun with this. If it's a bit challenging, don't worry. Just keep working at it. Take courage, too, in knowing that most of the melodies that we play stay on the higher strings of the guitar. So in the next video, we're actually going to learn the notes that happen on the 6th string of the guitar. That's going to go with lesson 7 from the note reading book. So we're going to start working with that 6th string. Most of the melodies that we play, though, use the notes on the top 4 strings, and even more especially the notes even on the top 3 strings sometimes. So these lower notes don't get used as much, but there are times when we use them. And if you're playing ensemble music, for example, someone will be playing that bass part. We do read down there quite a bit, but it's okay. Do the best you can. Keep having fun with it. Take care, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And be sure to check out more great content. You can find more information about me and my products at KristenBromley.com. Take care.